Hi Tribe, I'm Evelyn and this is Demon Dialogues, the place on Objectively Type where we talk about everybody's favorite topic, your demons. So today, a little bit different environment. I am in places unknown. I'm on vacation this week, and so I thought it would be really cool to get a nice view of the background behind me, the mountains in the background. Obviously it's a bit overcast. It's pretty early in the morning, so I'm hoping the day brightens up a little bit, but this is when I can get away from the kids, and this is when I can record these videos, so that's what I'm doing. So for today's Demon Dialogue, I wanted to talk a little bit about validation cookies versus comfort blankies. So I think I was having a conversation with Jenna in the Demon Support group, and we were talking about, I actually think the grant stack is what started this. So the grant stack is your cognitive function stack, which even in OPS with the jumpers, Dave and Shannon kind of have seen that the grant stack is real. There's something to it. So me as an ENFP jumper, in theory, my FI is still stronger than my TE. That is, that cognitive function, I'm more conscious of it, I probably have better use of it, and so forth, right? But then how am I a jumper? Like, how do the jumpers work then? And so what I was telling her is that what it comes down to, like for an ENFP jumper versus a standard ENFP, for example, what it comes down to is, are you self above tribe or are you tribe above self? So in my particular case, I'm a jumper because I am tribe above self. And so what she said to me, she was like, oh, so you're basically saying, is it comfort blankie or validation cookie? And I was like, absolutely. So those of us who are tribe above self, we love validation cookies. And I had a perfect example of this yesterday. So, we drove out here yesterday afternoon, and in the morning, I got this idea to record a Demon Dialogue right here on this spot. And I knew it would be dope. Like, my FI was like, that's going to be so cool. You're going to see the mountains. You're going to see the birds. There's a fire pit. I thought, that's going to be cool. But I needed the tribe to validate that. And I mean, this happens to me all the time. So I called up my friend. I was like, I have this idea of like recording a Demon Dialogue out on the outside, in the mountains, and do you think that would be cool? Is that something that people would like? And as opposed to just trusting my FI, trusting what I value, I look to the tribe to underline it. That's the way that I experience it as a jumper. Like, my FI is very strong. Like, I know what I like, I know what I don't like, but it's like I don't rely on that. I still seek out that validation cookie. So this has been kind of a hot topic for me personally lately. Hold on. I had to take a sip of coffee. It's been something that's been a really hot topic or hot issue for me personally, because once I noticed that behavior, I started saying, you know what? I am not going to be a person who relies on validation cookies. I decided, and so this is something that Shannon talks about, like, you have to make a rule for yourself. In her case, for example, she, as a lead TE, she had to make a rule that said, I do not argue. And then from there on, she had to essentially like punish herself or keep herself in and force herself not to argue. Sorry, there's some people like right there. They were probably gonna sit here. But she had to force herself not to do it, right? And it's the same thing with me. Like, I had to say, like, look, I'm not gonna do validation cookies anymore. And it's so funny because you just fall for it. Like, this is the definition of the saviors. This is how the saviors get us in trouble, is we seek them out again and again and again. And I'm guilty of it. I'm addicted to those validation cookies. And the thing about validation cookies is, like, you can only get them from the external world. So comfort blankies. So what I meant by comfort blankie is, like, if you know Linus from the Peanuts, he just has his comfort blankie. He doesn't have to get it from anyone else. Now, you can make an argument that says he got his comfort blankie from his mom in the first place, and, okay, fine. Let's not take the analogy too far. The point is, when Linus seeks comfort, he seeks it from his own internal thing. And so that is what I see the DIs doing. My husband is a savior FI, and when he looks for validation, he doesn't look external. He always looks internal for his validation. So he's got his comfort blankie, which is his belief, and he's not looking for the external. Now, the downside of that is that you're never really getting input from the outside world, and so sometimes you're doing things because you think they're right when the outside world doesn't actually want you to do that thing. So you think you're sacrificing for the tribe because you're like, well, I do so much for you, and why don't you appreciate it? Well, I didn't ask for it. You didn't actually ask me. You just consulted your own self. And so like that is fundamentally the difference between the two, or that's a big difference. Like I'm sure there's a lot more between the DIs and the DEs, but comfort blankie, validation cookie. All right, just wanted to leave you guys that one. Beautiful view out here. Comment below if you have any other comments or anything, any experience with this. Other than that, I think I might try to do these stairs. There's like 1,000 stairs down to the river, although I think it opens at 7 and it's only 6:45 because that's the way it is. That's my life. That's what I do. I'm always here before we're supposed to be here. So anyway,